You're gonna make me turn around, aren't you? You're gonna make me turn around, aren't you? Aren't you? I don't want to. But I can see that you're gonna make me. I don't like it. Alright. Oof. When I originally saw the trailer for Reveil, a shiver of both excitement and fear went down my spine at the idea of a first-person psychological thriller set in a 1930s-style carnival. Mostly due to the game's beautiful graphics and the hope of an incredible story, and partially because I am terrified of circuses. You know, now's probably a good time to have mentioned I'm afraid of clowns. And circuses.
Oh no!
I don't know why I picked this game. But, Indie Warriors, I did not let that stop me as I dove headfirst into this title by Pixel Split, and I promise I did not let my fear of clowns cloud this review. But, before I hop into a canon and launch into this review, why don't you guys head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where you can earn perks like access to our Discord community and new podcast, early ad-free videos, a shout out at the end of every video we produce, and yes, even free games depending on the tier. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Reveil opens on a scene straight out of a nightmare. Dark synth music chills you to the bone as you move through a surreal yet picturesque view of red waters and broken circus props. Fragments of a story begin flashing before your eyes, and just as you try to make sense of it all, suddenly, you're awake. Our main character, Walter Thompson, wakes in his bedroom with a headache to a seemingly empty home. As you begin to explore, the mystery begins to take form. Papers from our 7-year-old daughter Dory's school build a narrative of missing classes and failing grades. Discarded postcards and unattended party invitations, circus act flyers, and notes from our wife Martha paint the portrait of a dedicated tightrope walker and stern coach. While searching for our family, we make our way into Dory's bedroom, and after some investigation and a light breaking into our daughter's sketchbook, the mood shifts and we come to the realization that Walter may still be dreaming, and that this dream is leading us to the Nelson Brothers Circus, where our mystery and nightmare are only just beginning. Walter's traipse through the not-so-fun house brings us through an Escher-like room with gravity-defying staircases, a room full of mirrors, and some other quintessential carnival attractions. Each area is incredibly well designed with interesting details to stop and appreciate. While Reveil has a few moments that you'll be required to use some stealth or run away from an enemy, there's no real combat mechanics or threat, and these scenarios are easily navigated. Instead, this game is largely a story-driven game that focuses on exploration and discovery. Scattered throughout the chapters are collectibles and little hidden notes and postcards, items that'll unveil more fragments of the story, and be warned, they can easily be passed up. So players are encouraged to explore thoroughly, or give this title perhaps a second or even third playthrough. Although, fear not gamers, if you get lost or confused along the way, the developers have kindly included a hint button for you to either use begrudgingly or spam throughout your playthrough. This hint button is super helpful to show those important items you may have missed while looking around, but it will not solve the myriad of puzzles that await you.
Wow, this is harder than I thought.
Why? How?
This can't be this difficult.
I didn't hit the thing. Oh, can I use A and D? Oh my god, that's so much better. I was doing this with my mouse. Some of the puzzles I found really simple. Without giving much away, in the beginning of your playthrough, you'll be required to solve a series of puzzles in order to get a key that will help you move to the next round. This puzzle is a great temperature gauge of how difficult the puzzles will be moving forward. Only once through my playthrough did I find a puzzle that I pondered for a good 15 minutes before reluctantly Googling the type of cipher it involved. And then, the answer was so clear to me, I wondered how I didn't see it before. I do play quite a few puzzle-centered horror games, and I'm a huge fan of brain teasers, so take my word with a grain of salt, and maybe keep a walkthrough nearby if needed. Fans of horror titles like Layers of Fear, Visage, and the 2014 dragon we're all chasing, PT, will have alarm bells sounding throughout their playthrough, as Reveil feels like a love letter to the genre. The art direction and visuals are appropriately spooky and alluring, and the haunting ambient soundtrack builds suspense and terror with every note. The lighting and sound design are immersive and help build that sense of unease that leads you into the perfect jump scare, which, although can be predictable at times, are effective nonetheless. Overall, my initial thoughts were that this game felt familiar. With its pacing, character designs, puzzle, and story, it hit every beat and moment that I expected it to as a seasoned horror game fan. I was prepared to just merely like this game. About halfway through the 5-hour playthrough, I thought I had our main character and the storyline all figured out. And then it did something unexpected. Something that I'm not even allowed to discuss. And I loved it. Circuses, they freak me out. Okay, so I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm afraid of circuses, which is true, I am. They freak me out. I love the aesthetic of them, and I love the idea of a circus, but they make me so sad. First of all, clowns freak me out. Like, the conditions of, like, these older, like, circuses, like, I guess pre-regulation circuses, I guess what you would call them, freak me out. They just make me so sad. If you're a fan of mystery and psychological thrillers, this game is a must-play. Looking back on it now, knowing what I know, I missed so many tiny details. If you've ever watched a good thriller like Shutter Island or Seven and then immediately said, wait, let's rewatch it again, cause how did I miss that? This might be the game for you. Reveil's mystery gripped me from start to finish, and I couldn't put it down. Pixel Split did an amazing job. I found no bugs during my playthrough. The levels weren't so difficult that I was stressed trying to progress through them. If you're looking for a thriller adventure title that's easily played in one sitting, look no further. The climax of this story brought this game from being simply another horror adventure walking sim to something else entirely. For this and its replayability, I think it's well deserving of a Golden Genie, the first I ever award on this channel. Can she hear me? Martha! Shit. Oh shit. Hey! You don't see me. You see me. You see me. You see me. My, what beautiful teeth you've got.